Okay, so firstly, just remind ourselves we are so fortunate have the opportunity to discuss how wonderful was the Dolpopa Sherab Gyaltsen and why is celebrating his passing every year. That is our talk today. But first, to remind ourselves, we have to understand how we are fortunate with this, because if we don't have that opportunity, then we are just live as ignorance. Even we born the same earth, but we are completely ignorant about him. So, yeah. So that's I want to say first. And then secondly, I'm not going to details of his story. These things you can read many places. You can hear from many people. But I just want to discuss a little few features of Dolpopa's, how he's different than any other lamas, how he is incredible and superior. So that is the most important. So this is we're going to discuss a little bit. And then we can have prayer, his prayers. And the most important, please enjoy today. Feel very fortunate, okay? That's most important. And so then we can inspire like him. We have connection. Firstly, Dolpopa born a Nyama family. But he didn't want to stay in Nyama family. He seeking something else. So why is it important to discuss this? It is not about, oh, Nyama is not good enough. But it is about he is superior. Because most of human beings, they are stuck with culture and culture habit. Basically, we are ordinary human beings, essenceless, layers of habitual patterns. Habitual patterns come from your family, your community, your race, your culture. So we are stuck there. And Dolpopa, from the beginning, he shows he not just stuck there what they have the values, what they have the principles. I'm sure he see through, but still he want to explore something. So that's very important for us to learn, always explore, always give the benefit of doubt. So we consider like this way. Also, it doesn't necessarily Dolpopa himself needed to do that. But certainly show us to do like this way. Just like Buddha Shakyamuni, what he did, he also wasn't satisfied to be prince and to be future king. He saw the meaningless of the samsaric king and the king's position, the royal position. So this is one thing we think about. Second thing, Buddha chose degenerate time to teach Dharma. What means according to the Buddha, the human beings much more better used the spiritual understanding or so much better. The prosperity and the life also much more better. So Buddha Shakyamuni, he didn't choose that term. He chose the human beings only lifespan 100 years. Similarly, Dolpopa Sherab Gyaltsen born place incredibly remorse. Even today, 21st century, you have to go walk many, many days. Walk or animals, but no vehicles, no machines can go there. So that means he must have reason. And the reasons are clear. Why? When people have too much samsaric luxuries and too much samsaric commitments, then the real Dharma practice becomes less priority. And people have very little wisdom. So even they try to practice Dharma, people have very unrealistic expectations, you know. I'll give you one example. We have to educate from kindergarten, enter your 20s or 30s, or some people like 40, 50, whatever. We have to study that much. But we have to think what this study for. Only two reasons. One is survive, just have job, have income. One is not only survive, maybe ego driven, a competition, very narrow-mindedly. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing's a guarantee. But we study 20, 30, 40 years. But when we study Dharma, only few months, few weeks, few hours practice, we expecting something huge of transformation, right? Even we not doing really properly practice, proper practice, always based on misunderstanding, based on wrong expectation, wrong motivation, choosing bad priority, wrong priority. So, Khentrul Dolpopa's Dharma remains, the most of them is poor regions, materialism poor regions. And Remos. That's why it's not very famous. But the real practice, even today, the most poor regions, they're really practicing a little bit rich materialism, their practice so-so. Because Dolpopa himself said it. He predicted. He said, Ngai stamba nyanda tendar makshanda. He said, my Dharma flourish like fish first, and then become like monkey, and finally become peacock. That time, majority not practicing well. Peacock means like very beautiful, look like. Everybody have incredible temples, and physical objects. Too many monks. But when you go digging inside, most of them empty. That's Dolpopa he predicted. So that's human nature. When we have samsaric luxuries, majority of the humans, they're distracted on that, and they take the wrong priority and cannot practice well. I'm talking about the majority, okay? I'm not saying nobody, of course, some great ones. They are like lotus born in the dirt. But majority of people cannot do this. So that's why Dolpopa, he chose himself, were born, and his dharma flourished mostly poor regions and remote. Okay, that's one I want to say first. Second, how we know the Dolpopa is really special and really superior than any other Lama. The correct answer, we not criticize other Lamas, not necessarily. We not also judging inside their reality. What is the reality? One kin is superior, one inferior. We cannot judge. We shouldn't judge. But what is appears, how they're special, we can judge individually. That's no problem. I mean, it doesn't have to be our judgment is right or wrong. As long as we are sentient being, we have limitations. But we try our best distinguishing how special and superior. Otherwise, we wouldn't be inspired. So Dolpopa is easy to do this. Why? First, who is really special? We have to refer Buddha's teachings. Is Buddha, if predicted somebody, prophesied, very clear, then must be something. So Buddha predicted Dolpopa more than anybody else, more and clear anybody else. This you have to understand. you could misunderstand or you could confuse is because everybody claims, every party claims their party's leader, their lamas are prophesies. But if you look very closely, research it, then you cannot compare Dolpopa. Most of people say, oh, they claimed is Buddha prophesied. Most of them is like, can be anybody. You know, there's some kind of part of name there, or somebody is very good, but we don't know which one is. Can be this one, but also can be somebody else. Like that. Very, very rarely, not from Buddha, but some other lamas or something predict someone very clear, or must be this person, seems like, but very rare. That one is very rare, but not from Buddha usually. So Dolpopa Sherab Gyaltsen, Buddha predicted him very, very clear, his father's name, mother's name, birthplace, his own name, and what he will do. What is incredible benefits? Everything Buddha said. Not only one quotation, nor one sutra. Many of sutras say like that. So maybe I can read you only one. There's many, but one example maybe I can read for you. Structure number Jarvi Git, which means Vishnusha Ujaya of Tantra. Buddha said in that, Dekshanyangan Diogni, Lon of Tontra Sheranse, Domer Yert, Ngandavi, Stanbanzen be Gelonshik. After around 2,500 years, in red face land, which means Tibetan, appears as like me. Me means Buddha. A monk, full ordination monk. He will be the river core, Chor Jonghang Thamzi, the river name, the Buddha, where is the Dolpopa born? Kayori Tongchert, that's his village, or we here born, his name. Yamna Ramshuk Yeshi, his father's name, Ramshuk Yeshi. His mother's name, Sitamjan. Himself name, Buddha's name, he say. Sargi Manchan. So, that we not say Dolpopa. But many people call him Dolpo Sargi. Dolpo Sargi means Buddha from Dolpo. That becomes his name. That's one thing. The other thing, everybody call him Khentrul. So Khentrul also one of the Buddha's name. So meaning saying omniscient. So Buddha said, "Is same is my name." So there's two ways is proved. These names, just randomly people call him. Okay? That's what happened. I want to tell you this. The lamas or something recognized from young age, very, very small young age, you recognize it and then you put very special place and everything. That one's sometimes dangerous. Why? Because there is a party involved. As long as there is a party involved, there's always politics involved. Some have a big gender, impure gender. Some don't have big gender or big impure gender, but always there's a little bit maybe. Those things happens. Anybody born as normal, grow as normal, and then becomes great and always better. Why? Because this is judged from the strangers, from the public, not parties involved. So Dolpopa this way. Okay? Usually people always feel good. Oh, somebody recognized somebody such and such. But better to not recognize it, especially parties not recognized. Because human beings everywhere and afflictions everywhere, imperfections everywhere. So better to judge by a public, judge by strangers, or who experience, grow up and do together. Their judgmental, they're judged by it's better, one's always better. So Dolpopa is like that. Okay? This Buddha's prophesies is not somebody realized when Dolpopa was very young. This is later on. Dolpopa become a great after, then people realize. Okay? And then what he do, Buddha say, Ngai Stambi Gyaltsen Drang. He said, what he will do is, my Dharma, Gyaltsen means victory banner. You raise up the victory banner. This is a very big meaning, okay? Everybody knows victory. Victory is very important. Of course. So, we all know ancient time, two nations are fighting. Many armies die. Many soldiers die. Even thousands of soldiers die. The final who is the victory. And they raise up all their flag and banners and music, everything celebrate. He saying like that, Buddha saying, he is the victory of Dharma. That means anybody have a misunderstanding, Dolpopa going to correct. That means Dolpopa has zero misunderstanding, zero confusion. And then he said, Buddha said, Chuji tarshir tombato. He going to raise a victory banner. He going to Dharma conch. He blow up a big Dharma conch. And he going to raise a big Dharma flag. So not saying he going to have conch blow up and he always hold a flag, okay? Or banners. This meaning is whatever Dolpopa say is the most correct. There is nobody compete him. That's Buddha professor. Like this, not only one, many of sutras and tantras. And then he did exactly what Buddha said. Okay? Okay, you guys may think, oh, Dolpopa is one of the great ones. But there's other great ones, wow, you know, such and such. You can think anything until you really close to analyze it. Until then, we have illusion. But you really close to analyze it, then you will know. I used to think, oh, Dzokden, incredible. Oh, wow, like this. Many times inspired. Along Chinpa, oh, he's incredible. Rimé Lamba, oh, he's incredible. Many of them is incredible. I didn't know enter I know Dolpopa. He's not his story much. Story you can't tell much really, but his text, his work. Until I study carefully, actually took many years. I mean, the all others incredible one, but Dolpopa has more. What he has more, I tell you, okay? His knowledge and his realization and his conduct, especially his confidence, is unbelievable. Why I tell you? I want to tell you simple thing, you know. He is a vegetarian entire his life. I think this is incredible. Why? Nowadays, so easy to be vegetarian. Nothing special to be vegetarian these days. Why? Because firstly, too many options of food. Secondly, too many encourages. Unfashionable. So it's not that hard to become vegetarian today. Almost become is nothing special, just you like to be like that. That's all. But here's the time. Firstly, there is no such thing concept. Vegetarian is healthy. The opposite. I mean, that region where not only his region, but entire of the Tibetan land or Himalaya. Why? Firstly, zero vegetable available. Centuries, no habit, no culture. Even Buddhist still eating meat is completely acceptable. Not even a question. Almost if you have no meat, oh, so what are we going to eat? You know, like, yeah, oh my God. Such a boring life, unbelievable, you know, and unhealthy that time, consider. That means he shows something incredible. Oh, not only that, the most important, nowadays we are vegetarian. Even your philosophical reasons, you become vegetarian. That's okay. It's not that hard. But even you not become vegetarian, still it doesn't mean to be you have to involve, you kill, you know. It's almost the same like vegetable nowadays. If you little bit be careful, you eat meat or vegetable, almost same today. I mean you make it bad karma or good karma, almost the same. Why? Because you don't have to kill, you don't request to kill, you don't have to do anything, but you can buy meat, whatever you like. Is nothing arranged for you, just the whole world together. So that is even vegetables is not cared for you, but so many, the process of vegetables, so many is killed already for whole world together, not for you special, but so that's why almost the same. if you little bit be careful and not ordering some life in the restaurant, you know, you're not a fish ordering the life. Any special, if you know ordered, then it's just almost you eating vegetable, same thing. However, that time in Tibet, that region, you know, the entire of Tibet, or is everybody kill and feed. There is no market, okay? There is no meat market. So that means you have important guests coming, they're killing. Oh, I have guests coming, I have nothing to feed, I have to kill animal. But centuries, or the lamas, monks, everybody going like that way. But even you not coming, you are stay monastery, you are practicing Dharma, you are monastery, but your family killing one for you and bring for you. Only for you. Not like just we buy meat from the market for the public. Only for you. I think if it's like more lama or high, if it's like that, even more, because they think because people not think. People think, oh, lama came in, the most important fatty meat. Okay, the fatty meat is number one for Tibetans. Number one food. The most they cannot resist it is that. So Dolpopa, he doesn't even eat meat, but he still is so healthy. At that time we call healthy. Nowadays probably we are obsessed, so we call fat. But at that time, incredible poor place and harsh and cold, nobody's fat, you know. Especially in somebody not eating meat, how can be like that? So that's also something very special. I'm telling you something simple. Okay? Let's say more important things I want to tell you now. His knowledge of Buddhism is unbelievable. Yeah, nowadays, think of nowadays us. We have so much facilities. We have so many things in the internet, library, everywhere, everything. And think of our knowledge. Majority of people have no idea what is really Dharma, and everybody living just habitual customs. Your family passed on you stupid customs. That time, incredible hard, even you read text. But Dolpopa seems like the all 84,000 Dharma, he knows every single word, and the many layers of meaning he already know. I mean, I'm not talking about he already know means when before he study. His study is much more fast, like 100,000 times faster than normal. How I know that? Because when I see the text, Because that time, the society, they don't believe anybody say anything except Buddha say. So when he wrote in the Mountain Doctrine, 80% of Buddha's quotations. And so many people even never heard things. So you can say the Dolpopa's knowledge is the most developed technology information machine. So I never seen like that before, anybody. More importantly, the meaning. He not just gathering many texts and quotations, but the meaning he explained is so profound and nobody cannot explain that level. Everybody said something, but not that elaboration. So that's why actually before, way before he became a Jonang, he went everywhere and debate everybody and defeat everybody, all the monasteries. And then everybody call him Khentrul Rinpoche, which means, oh, he must be omniscient. He know everything. There is no limitation. So called him omniscient. Strangers named him, not his party. He doesn't have even a party that time. Okay? And then later on, he teach Satya. And then, this is his knowledge, but he didn't certify from that. One day he came to Jonang. Jonang means a valley. Inside he have retreat people, which means not scholars. They are practitioners, very serious practitioners. But he's intelligent. He realized all this valley, doesn't matter you are male or female, everybody realize Buddha nature. So Dolpopa Sherab Gyaltsen, he moved and he's feel humble because they are not scholars, but they know exactly what we need to know. He's an incredible scholar. But he still didn't know what they realize. So that time he must be have many responsibilities, but he couldn't stay straight away. But he make a promise himself and he will come back. And then later on he came back, and then he took Khenchen Chukozir. That time is the retreat teacher. He received from him empowerment, transmission, and then practiced very seriously. Then he got incredible realizations, not go beyond knowledge. Realizations go beyond knowledge. And then Jonang become, I think, very, very bigger. Even all the time retreat people also, they said over 600. And the temporary ones maybe much more, thousands maybe. Then Dolpopa become incredible famous. Then his number one is his master, you know. The most pursues for him is his master, pass away. So he want make offering his master a stupa. So that stupa is huge at that time. At that time, compared to that time, is like mountain. Like shopping center, huge shopping center built. I mean, compare that time. Even nowadays, stair is not small, but very big. But that time is really is some kind of mind blowing other people, because people's poor, and that stupa is incredible big, and he want to build that. Yeah, there's many stories that the incredible magical performance and everything, how they build the statue, everything. We not go details of that. But the most important, what he say, all this knowledge and realization, the most important, he take the most pursues his Lama. That's why he said, Ruh Sakhir Jamsordur. So when he built this mountain-like stupa, then his realizations and teachings just like ocean, even more bigger or more precise. So that's why his texts are very critical for everybody. So please don't misunderstand it. Critical means, bad guy. His compassion, his love, all sentient beings are tremendous, limitless. So for him, people are not understanding Dharma. Misunderstanding Dharma is number one important to correct. That is why he not only challenged all the Tibetan scholars, he even challenged Indian well-known masters. So there is one of the Tibetan Lodzawa, great translator, well-known, Gu Lodzawa, I think. He said, you cannot find like Dolpopa anywhere, even India, he said. Because that time, everybody think India is noble land. I mean, the people's concept, India is a noble land. But he went to India and Nalinda, everything. So Guru Losawa, he said, you cannot find like Dolpopa, even India. So that means all his critics, he correcting everybody's wrong, and he even correcting translations wrong. Wrong means not everything wrong, okay? Just anything there's errors a little bit, he realized. That time then even the great few translators become his disciples. So they, he tells the meaning and they judge the language and they correct. So if anybody really have intelligent, if you read Dolpopas, you can't compare anybody. So don't have doubt on that. If you have doubt, you read, you research. If you don't see any differences, or others also great, or this Dolpopa is great, or both great, equal, that means you didn't realize yet. You can feel it, his confidence and his compassion. He's almost sometimes crying. You can feel the crying all through the text because other people misunderstand it. Sometimes you can feel his love and determination and to liberate ascension beings, incredible. You feel that in the text. So that means he explained something new way. Nobody know before. He used terms before not used before. So that's why many people are offended, jealous, of course, as a human nature. So, okay, what he did, the most important things, okay? The few features you think about, we don't think too much. One is the great Tatars, usually they got from their party. If it's really great, they got from their own master. But Dolpopa, he got from the public. Buddha's name, Khenchen, Dolpo Sangji, all of them from public, spontaneously. This is you have to think of consider very important feature. Secondly, Buddha, of course, Buddha emphasized that matched completely. Thirdly, you can think of the stupa is not just big, but is how he did and what happened, the result. That's incredible one. And then what happened? Mountain Doctrine. Because Mountain Doctrine defeated everybody, and he bring up new view. And then Kabdabjwa is incredible because all the scholars together, and then he corrected and he used many languages and everything, terms and huge challenges in there, is fourth cancer. So Buddha has a few cancers after Buddha passed away, Dharma. But that only Hinayana level. Mahayana level, who did cancels? We say, oh, Manjushri and the Vajapani, but it's not humans. So, who did both Sutra and Trantrayana? The most Buddhism are flourished and strong time, incredible counsel is Dolpopa. Nobody else. That really you should think is very incomparable feature of his life, his achievement. And then what he did, all the tantras, mostly Kalachakra tantra, all mistakes, translate, he everything made clear. Because this all is not come from knowledge, it come from his own experience the reality. Why the Chinese emperor invited him on his master, his personal and nation? Because that time Chinese emperors sent spies to Tibet, and then who is the greatest lamas? And they go and spy and then go back and tell, oh, this lama is good, this lama is famous, this lama is great, like that. So emperor, spy, go back and telling, say, the most is Dolpopa, and then Burton. Burton is very scholar, and he's famous at that time. People consider like sun and moon, definitely Dolpopa sun. So the spy also said, Burton and Dolpopa is incredible, but Dolpopa definitely much better. He is the incomparable superior, that's why invite. So that's why emperor, how do you say? He really, really wanted, he had desperate. But the important thing is this. Chinese emperor invite for his own master. It is special, but it is not extremely special. Because a few other lamas invited, not at the same time, but throughout the history. But the special is Dolpopa, he doesn't even want to go. That is special about. Okay? Why? Because the others, they think, oh, this is an incredible opportunity. Oh, wow. And they are very, very pride about, oh, emperor and what. And you can see that text everywhere, and which tradition Lama invited, they always are very proud about. But Dolpopa is the only person refused. So you wonder why refuse? We don't know 100%. Okay? Some texts say, oh, because this, maybe that just have to consider possibilities, reasons. But we never know his reasons. We only can guess. If we guessed more logically, if there is any politic people involved in your life, then your dharma cannot be that pure. There is some influence. Probably that is the reason. Whatever emperor persists many times, he make many efforts and many times. And then finally, of course, it kind of like force. But he doesn't have to go. You can call magical things happening. They said he becomes so heavy and even the chariot cannot take. Oh, many people crying and try to fight. Many other things, many things of these stories, but the most important, then he doesn't have to go because that his magic. Whatever reason, better to not go. So he didn't go. He sent one of disciple, Chutakpal. And then he wrote that letter, emperor. So we can teach next Thursday this. Few Thursdays, maybe we're going to finish. I don't know, 2 Thursdays or 3. 3 probably finish. 2/3 death could be finished. Depend how much you want, very clear. It's not big. Not big, but the subject is, of course, comprehensive. Because he wants good influence can as much as can, but definitely he realized there is no need he go. So the subject is interesting. So Buddha's Buddha Torpo, he has that story, emanation story. Sometimes he is a Buddha, sometimes it's a bodhisattva, sometimes an animal form, many things. Sometimes he's a Guru Rinpoche, sometimes Berotana, whatever. The most important you have to understand is Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they can be anything because they can manifest anything. And also one, they can be few, and few, they can be one. So there's the most important I want to tell you, you don't think in the future, oh, Berotana, if it's Dolpopa cannot be somebody else, you know. Guru Rinpoche is somebody else, they cannot be somebody else. Don't think that way. It's the opposite samsara. Samsara, we are here, we cannot be somewhere else. We cannot be same 2 person, 3 person. We are inflexible and under control of karma. Karma dominate. And the opposite. Anything can be, anywhere. But what we're talking today is what is appear for us, what is appear in this, you know, this world. Everybody knows, kind of appears for everybody. That we're talking about. But this appearance, I said, remember, Dolpopa is exceptional. That's why his text, his view is exceptional. Nobody can challenge him. Nobody. There's nobody challenging him. His view is very critical, then some people don't like, and then there's blah, 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 say something without mentioning his name. But in general, every tradition regards him is a Shambhala Dharmakin, rare Shambhala Dharmakin. Or the Nyamapas, Satyapas, Galgyapas, Gelugpas, everybody. There is nobody directly Dolpopa criticism or even unsatisfactory never show. Even contradict, completely defeating their own view, still they don't say Dolpopa nothing. Because I think somehow everybody knows he's incredible. So that means he's very incredible, important, and 14th century passed away. We just know that, that's good enough? No. The most important, make connection with him. to study, to practice, keep his image, recite his mantra, his Guru Yoga. Of course, the best practice, the whole Kalachakra lineage and his lineage. But at least keep his image, keep his story, read his text. That's very important. Okay, any questions, please?
If you add your questions to the Zoom Q&A or also to Facebook, we will ask them. The first question, Rinpoche, was early on in the talk this evening, you mentioned the fish, the monkey, and the peacock analogy for types of Dharma. Can you explain what you meant?
I don't know exactly because there is no discussions, like he's saying like that way is like more indication, but you can only guess, but there's no description or anything. But my guess is you start like a fish. Is the Jonang, this lineage, these practices, a long time, like they are hidden, they are not loud on the society, but they practice something very important. So that probably like fish, because fish and the hidden in the water not come outside, so like that. And then he's a monkey, probably monkeys go everywhere. So during his time, and then maybe Taranatha's time, then is incredible, Jonang was well known. So probably that. Unfortunately, now is the peacock, I believe. So everywhere we have big temples, so much monks, many things, but I mean, it still is comparatively good practitioners, minorities. But if you have to compare like fish time and monkey time, no hope. So we have to Jayo. Do you know what Jayo means?
No.
We have to have some backbone. We are the meant to be. Yeah. So in my vision and my wish and my inspiration, we teach Dharma a little differently and little different practice. What that means, traditionally, where is everything thrown on you, and then you lost it in the details, and then you just stick with your habits, cultural habits. That's why I think we loosen very soon the precious Dharma if we keep doing like that way. Because we see the evidence is the younger people. How many your children, the younger people, are interested in Dharma? if they're not interested in Dharma, how come? Is Dharma is not worthless, not worthy to interest? Definitely not. Dharma is the only medicine to cure suffering for all sentient beings. But our generation not interested because we present the wrong way. I mean, the wrong way means we present not perfectly, and we build a role model not good enough, because we just blindly follow the cultures, traditions. Traditions means there is good things in the tradition, but also there's bland things also tradition. And we follow mostly bland tradition. So the most important, you have to take the most essence, the pursuits you apply in your life. So that's why the perfect conduct every Saturday I teach, because perfect conduct, so usually people think, oh, so many vows, so many promises, so many rules. Oh, no, I'm not involved. This is trouble for me, a burden for me. So I'm telling, it is not burden, it is for liberation. Is liberate you every single degree you can learn, and liberate you that degree, not burden. So Dharma is not for burden. How many people see as burden? When you see it as a burden, that means you not understand the essence. But if you see it's liberated, everybody want. Your children, your generation, younger people, everybody want, I'm sure. Yeah, okay, sorry.
A couple people have asked about what is Dolpopa's mantra. Can you tell us about his mantra?
Something like that. But we can call proper record, and we make sure we can get in the future.
Okay, we'll add the mantra to the SoundCloud, and we'll share it later.
Huh?
We can add it to our website and share it later for people.
Yeah.
So some people are wondering if you have any list or direction of where they can look for the Buddha's prediction about Dolpopa.
I saw some online, there's some translations, but I don't know. I didn't keep them. So probably you can find and you can ask some, I don't know, because I didn't keep, sorry.
Okay. So it seems like Dolpopa's occupation was being a monk. So nowadays in the West, does a lay person need to have an occupation, or can they become unemployed and just study Dharma?
That depend what your definition of monk, or what kind of level of monk you are, and what do you prioritize in. In general, yes, in the West, no more culture monk is difficult, because there's no culture for culture monk. They don't have culture for culture monk. Only have China and Tibet, like Thailand and, the native Buddhist countries. So I think if you want to become a monk, I think maybe you have to adopt what the best way of monk in the West, not you try to copy in Chinese, Western, you can't. Chinese and, like the Tibet and Mongolia, and Nepal, Thailand, this you can't copy in the native. You have to be adaptable, how you can do in West. Otherwise, you just have to leave the country, and then you have to leave you learn the language and you leave the native Buddhist country if you want to be cultural monk. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think they're wondering if to make enough time to study Dharma, they need to quit their job and become unemployed, or if they can study it even with a normal job as a lay person.
Yeah, monk means mostly is you have less communication, less responsibility in the samsara. So then you can make more effort. So you can more focus. Is not a, also depend, you just want to be kosher monk, or you just want to be exactly what Buddha said. You want to be like that,
So Rinpoche, can we be reborn in Shambhala Pure Land by our own practice, or can we just rely on the power of Buddha's intention?
Number one is own practice. Buddha's attention helps you, only facilitate you, all right, helping you. We have to understand helping or myself, You can study, whatever you need to study, like university or whatever you study, you have to study yourself. The others can facilitate you, and teacher and everybody can help you, your coordinator, everybody, but they can't study for you. The same thing, everything is our own practice and own transformation.
So Rinpoche, if we want to study one of Dolpopa's texts, should we study the Mountain Doctrine or the Fourth Council?
Oh, the Fourth Council and the Mountain Doctrine is why I mentioned, because this is very, very high scholar way, to convince other people and to criticize and, defeat other people. So all the scholars ever exist, so this is not necessarily for beginners. Beginners is not necessarily. I think the most important, you read Dolpopa's story, and then how much available depends in your language. And then simple things, like Dolpopa's, those things, you don't have to necessarily that high to go. But even you go, is nothing wrong. If you not discourage it, you can read, no problem, Mountain Doctrine and Fourth Cancer and many, many, many other jantons. He has many small jantons, depend what are available for us,
Rinpoche, do you know how much the Jintong view is accepted in the Kagyu lineage?
Majority, I think the majority of Gargyapas, I think the Jantongpas, the majority of Karmapas, they are Jantongpas. And is the Jantong is very, what I see is very, I don't know what other people see, but what I see is you have to accept Jantong, you have no choice. Otherwise, you have to believe that or Buddha's third Dharma well is a provisional teaching, and all the Tantras are provisional teaching. Can you do that? Nobody can do that. Cannot do that. That's why, or Nyangma and the Kargyatpa, I think everybody believe that the third Dharma well of Tantra, third Dharma well, they believe is a definitive teaching. That means they already accept in Janton already. No matter individuals, they say they don't accept, or then you accept, this third Dharma well is a definitive teaching. So that means the third Dharma well, if you believe like world, you don't have to teach world, and then you already believed Janton. But everybody have to believe Janton, otherwise you cannot really match with your Tantras. Otherwise Tantras, you have to think of lower teaching. This is my view, okay?
It looks like we've come to an end of our questions today, Rinpoche.
Oh, good.
It's a light question day. Should we do the praises to Dolpopa to complete?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm sharing the link on Facebook.
If other people have other languages, they can do their same time. Their own.
We have other languages for the dedication, but right now we have English and Tibetan for the praises.
No, I mean, they can do themselves. If you have this English and then Chinese or somebody else, whatever they have something to do with Dolpopa, they can do that. Okay?
I prostrate to the Lama Avalokiteshvara in accordance with the words of the conqueror. Your ground, view, meditation, conduct, and result are superior to what is taught by others. Therefore, I prostrate to the Dharma Lord. Some with their conceited minds say things like groundless and baseless. In the suchness with stains, they propound only deprecation. You, in accordance with the words of the Buddha, speak about the all-pervasive essence. Your teaching on the ground as the natural lineage is especially noble. Some, not knowing how to distinguish the foundational consciousness and primordial wisdom, foolishly teach that consciousness is the same as the essence. You, in accordance with the pith instructions, having well distinguished the all ground of consciousness and primordial wisdom, excellently teach that the all ground of primordial wisdom is the essence of the Sugatas. Some say that if this essence of the Sugatas is established, then it must be the same as the self. For that reason, they foolishly say the teachings on existence are provisional meaning. You, with the sutras and tantras as your sources, know it is impossible for the Dharma Dhatu to be non-existent. Therefore, you excellently teach that the words which propound the essence as pervasive are definitive meaning. Some say that even though the essence of the Sugatas may be established, the powers and so forth do not exist as the qualities of the Dharmakaya. Such speak is mere foolishness. You excellently teach that because the qualities, such as the powers and so forth, are resultant qualities, then they must exist equally within the Dharmakaya and also the essence. Some say that since that which is established as the abiding mode of basic nature doesn't exist at all, then the Dharmakaya cannot be established as true. They are fixated on a view of deprecation. You, in accordance with the completely perfect scriptures, excellently teach that since suchness is true, then just that is established as the abiding mode of the basic nature of phenomena. Some say that the entity of the Dharmakaya itself is the emptiness of being empty in that. The other forms of emptiness which are not included in that are not perfect emptiness. You, in accordance with the words of the Buddha, teach that the conventional is empty due to being empty of itself. The ultimate, even though not empty of itself, is empty due to being empty of anything other than itself. Some hold the view that due to the teachings that even nirvana is like an illusion, in the ultimate it is called not established, and is on the side of obscuration. You, due to being skilled in the intention of the scriptures, follow those scriptures which teach that nirvana is the only truth, and thus teach that it is established as ultimate reality. Some, due to not knowing the intention of the scriptures which teach the Dharmakaya is ultimately not true, say the ultimate truth does not exist. You, in accordance with the pith instructions, excellently teach that conventional truth accords with conventional reality, and ultimate truth is ultimately true. Some hold the view that the three natures are only terms used in the mind-only school, and thus deprecate the thoroughly established nature. You, in accordance with the mother of all Buddhas, are supreme in teaching that everything, after being distinguished as the three natures, is the Dharmakaya of the middle way. Some who are accustomed to talking about what they don't know say that the teachings of the final turning, together with the explanations of the classes of secret Tantra, are scriptures of the mind-only school. You excellently teach that those sutras and tantras, due to clearly teaching the nature of phenomena, the object which transcends the system of the mind-only school, are scriptures of the middle way. Some say and believe that phenomena and the nature of phenomena, such as the two truths of samsara and nirvana and so forth, are different aspects with one entity. You most excellently teach that in accordance with the sutra Unraveling the Intent, that the conventional and ultimate realities are free from entities of same or different. Some assert that those conventional aggregates of form and so forth, as well as the conventional elements and sense spheres, are the deities of ultimate truth, such as Vairocana and so forth. You teach that the conventional aggregates, sense spheres, and elements are not deities. However, the nature of phenomena which pervades those are the assembly of ultimate deities. Some say just those things, such as the forms and so forth, which are included as subjects and objects, are the completely purity of form and so forth, saying that which is impure is pure. You, in accordance with the intention of the sutras and tantras, teach that due to the conventional being included in subjects and objects, those are not complete purity. The pervasive Dharma Dhatu is completely purity. Some say whatever is apparent aspect of all phenomena is the conventional truth, and that the quality of emptiness of those appearances is ultimate truth. They say those are spontaneously pure. You excellently teach with completely pure scriptures and reasoning that the aspect of conventional emptiness is conventional truth. Even the apparent aspect of ultimate truth is just the ultimate. Some say that the intention of teaching that there is no existence and no non-existence cannot be realized, that the middle way, the phenomena of ultimate truth, means the unestablished ground. You teach that in the view of the middle way, one completely abandons the two extremes of exaggerating that which does not exist as existent, and deprecating that which exists as non-existent. Some attest that the deluded speech of the elders is the Dharma of the Father. If contradicting with that, even the Buddha's words are taken as provisional meaning. You attest that the Dharma which teaches that the Father of all Dharmas is the Buddha, is the Dharma of the Father. Just that is the speech of the conqueror. Some hold the mistaken view that even looking upon permanence, impermanence, and so forth, as similar to the way things are, will become the condition for grasping onto extremes. You excellently teach in accordance with the victor's own words, that holding a view where existence, non-existence, and so forth are similar to the way things are, is the completely pure view. Some say that the scriptures which teach non-conceptual meditation are not even as profound as those that explain conceptual meditation. You explain in accordance with the tantric commentaries of the 10th level bodhisattvas how non-conventional meditation is supreme. Therefore, your way is superior. Some say the experiences of non-conceptual meditative equipoise are mistaken. They say that the insight which reverses meditative equipoise is the conclusion which is established. You most excellently teach that in accordance with the scriptures and oral instructions, all appearances in meditative equipoise are luminous nature. Some create obstacles by saying that due to meditating on the profound path, the wrathful experiences of body and speech are just disease, evil spirits, or insanity. You teach as one possessing faultless qualities that the leaping and shaking of the body, the various utterance of speech, and so forth, are signs of approaching primordial wisdom. Some create obstacles through various methods, such as medicines, visualizations, and so forth, saying that the experiences of yogic meditation will turn into some type of hindrances. You teach due to appearing as all sorts of experiences, like all sorts of crops arising in the ground during summer, they are maintained as spontaneous manifestations. Some say that through joining the two sexual organs, the bliss of the descending vital fluids is the great bliss which is known as the Dharma of desire. You explain in relation to the unchanging bliss, whichever yogin who engages in sexual activity without retention will just give rise to the causes of suffering. Some, for the sake of the conduct of secret mantra, say that meat is indispensable. After abandoning compassion, they eat whatever slaughtered meat they can find. You, in accordance with the completely perfect tantras, perform the conduct of great compassion, saying that the meat of harming sentient beings, when eaten, will become a great non-virtue. Some, after quoting many passages where it says that alcohol is nectar, while dancing and singing, they engage in carelessly drinking to excess. You refute such drinking to intoxication, except for drinking only a tiny bit of the support for the sake of samaya substances and satisfying the Vajra speech. Some say when there are no subtle karmic infractions, the aggregates will turn into relics. Thus, while disregarding the smallest of infractions, they relax their efforts. You excellently teach that the collection of samaya and vows are intended to be like the life force of one's practice. Therefore, you are never tainted by even the most subtle of transgressions. Some say that when performing sequentially virtues, this will become a cause for evil deeds. They refute that creating stupas, statues, and so forth are causes for great merit. You, as a cause for yourself and others to accumulate vast stores of merit, entreat others to erect the most superior objects, such as stupas and so forth. Some praise that which is in accordance with themselves, despising as enemies those who propound tenets which are discordant, regardless of whether they are mistaken or infallible and excellent. You teach that mistaken tenets should be abandoned, and that the infallible and excellent should be maintained. However, since it is hard to realize someone else's mind, cultivate pure perception for all times. Some say that teaching the idea that the Dharmakaya of the Buddhas is a continuous flow of speech that instantaneously disintegrates are words that give rise to hell beings. You most excellently teach that in accordance with the sutras and tantras, due to the Dharmakaya being uncompounded, it is naturally permanent. Some say that the Dharmakaya of the Buddha is not of one entity with the essence of the Tathagatas. They say it is the same and yet distinct. You excellently teach that merely freeing the stained suchness from those stains is the separate result of the Dharmakaya. Therefore, they are of one essence and entity. Some say that since the Sambhogakaya and the Nirmanakaya are conventional truths, then the ultimate Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya are impossible. You most excellently teach that after distinguishing well the two truths of both the Sambhogakaya and the Nirmanakaya, the Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya of ultimate truths are possible. Some foolishly say that since the primordial wisdom of the Buddhas knows all objects of knowledge, then this includes conventional appearances. You excellently teach that since the nature of phenomena appears to the primordial wisdom of the victors, then even though there are no appearances of phenomena, Such exalted wisdom cannot be fathomed by thought. Some say that since the Dharmakaya is not form, then all of the marks and signs which are taught are just qualities of the form bodies, but are not possible in the Dharmakaya. You teach that after clearly distinguishing the two truths of the excellent marks and signs, the marks and signs of ultimate truth are just the qualities of the Dharmakaya. Some senselessly say that the Dharmakaya is not a thing. For that reason, it is unable to function. Therefore, the actions of benefiting sentient beings is not possible. You teach in accordance with the perfectly complete scriptures that even though they are not things, the noble ones such as the Arhats and so forth unceasingly bring benefits to sentient beings, like that through completely pure scriptures and reasoning, due to complete teaching of the fully established ground and the view, meditation, conduct, results, and so forth. I am forever indebted to your kindness.
Okay, good. Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody. We're very fortunate. And then we do short dedication.
Okay. By all these virtuous deeds of accumulated merit, may all beings be rescued from short.
Do you have other dedication? Huh?
The Jonang dedication, I don't think I have that link.
Today we do that one. Yes.
You want the Jonang one? Okay,
Yes.
1 second. Yes. May the Jonang Dharma of the omniscient Dharma King pervade in all places and directions, never declining, but instead spreading and flourishing for all times. Through the goodness of the unchanging three jewels and the excellence of the truth of the eternal ultimate, may the deeds of the Jonang lords who taught the definitive meaning auspiciously spread and flourish. Through the ultimate meaning of the sutras, the Zhentong middle way, and the ultimate meaning of the tantras, the 6 yogas of Kalachakra Tantra, may we give rise to the essential points of the path that join the view with meditation. May we completely clarify all gateways to this profound Dhamma. Due to the arrival of the Buddha in this world, the presence of his teachings that clarify like a shining sun, and the flourishing of the authentic lineage holders, may the auspiciousness of the teachings remain for a long time. Om Ahung Ho. Completely surrounded by snow mountains, in the middle of a hub of an 8-petaled lotus, on top of Mount Kailasha, sits the divinely built capital of Shambhala, Kalapa. Between the lakes of Manasarovar and white lotuses in the middle of the Malaya Grove, there abides the enlightened mandala. In all of the outer petals of the lotus, there are 96 million cities and so forth. Abiding in that sublime realm of mantra are the Dharma kings and Kalkis, the host of deities of primordial wisdom, the 96 emanated kings and so forth. To all those worthy ones I prostrate and go for refuge. With these virtues and reliance upon the profound methods, with the power to destroy the collection of adventitious stains, as well as the channels of the life force and downward voiding winds, may I quickly realize the Buddha nature of the enlightened other. Whoever I meet, may I never even for an instant be influenced by those who still eternal bliss, such as wicked teachers, mistaken wisdom traditions, the messengers of Mara, or negative companions. By the blessings of the authentic victors and their children, whichever roots of virtue exist in samsara and nirvana, and the power of our pure altruistic motivation, may whichever prayers we offer be swiftly accomplished, always meeting with the very excellence, always free from every fault. In whichever case, may everything be most excellent, and may all our wishes be accomplished. Sole abode giving rise to well-being and happiness, may the teachings remain for a long time. Great beings who hold those teachings, may your lives be long and firm. By the sound of this great Dharma drum, may the sufferings of all sentient beings come to an end. By this inconceivable good fortune, may these teachings be established and remain. Through the blessings of the three jewels, the energy and power of their waxing virtues. Dearest Root Lama, who holds the victor's teachings, may your life be long and may your enlightened activities increase. To the Lama, I pray that you have excellent health. I pray that you may have a supremely long life. I pray that your enlightened activities flourish. Bless me to never be separated from you. In all my lives, may I never be separated from my precious Lama. May I always enjoy the practice of the precious Dharma. And after completing all the qualities of the grounds and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Lord of all the manifold mandalas, pervasive sovereign of all families, Vajradhara, may I always receive teachings at the lotus feet of an authentic root guru. With faith in the inseparability of the Lama and Kalachakra, by the power of the virtues accumulated here through going for refuge and making supplications, may I become the child of the Kalki kings and Shambhala and bring magnificent benefit to the teachings and sentient beings. By virtue of these accumulated merits, when I and others pass away in this and all future lives, may I excellently care for the authentic Dharma, and may I be unharmed by whichever adversities arise. By the pristine virtues of both ordinary and noble beings, until the end of time, may we attain the peak of the Buddha's teachings. May we thoroughly increase the benefits and well-being of all beings, and may we enjoy the magnificent stages of the teachings and protect everyone. The great pioneer of the middle way of definitive meaning is the Dharma king of Jonang, Dolpopa Sherab Gyaltsen, the learned and accomplished one who holds his lineage. In general are many, but in particular, the master of the secret doctrine is the liberating protector Taranatha. May their teachings blaze for a long time. The place itself a pure realm, in the sky above, within a sphere of rainbow light, on top of a lotus and moon disk, abides the Lama Avalokiteshvara, undefiled by stains, body white in color, his crown ornamented by the perfect Buddhas, looking on beings with the eyes of compassion. I pray to you, Avalokiteshvara. Through the profound aspirations of the bodhisattva kings of Shambhala, may we manifest the glory of the second golden age in this world. May all of us Dharma brothers and sisters come to enjoy the good fortune of our courage and commitment. Great mind of love and wisdom, the most excellent treasury, inexhaustible activities born from the gods of gods, richness of Vajra gentleness, supreme aspirations. May I always be protected by those with these names, with immeasurable mind, even more vast than space, advice uncontaminated and distinct, like a clear drop. Dearest friend who plays in the inconceivable ocean, I pray to the treasury of perfect well-being and bliss, precious gem of the enduring bliss of all beings, appearing in the form of a universal monarch. May your life remain steadfast as the unchanging supreme. May your activities be accomplished with the speed of the five lights. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rinpoché, just a reminder, today Mountain Dharma is published. So everyone can download this now.
Everybody tell, please.
Yeah, so
and everything, we thank you for him, and we dedicate it for him. And
Ives Waldo's translation is here, yes.
So who translated?
Ives Waldo translated the Mountain Dharma, and yes, we've now got it available online in our Dzokden library, and yes, also for downloadable as a PDF that you can print out and make a book if you want to read. And so that is available for studying and exploring.
Also have to explain how is that so much better than, easier than the other books.
The language is easier to read, yes, definitely, but it's still.
And he made the languages
a complicated text, but yeah, it's also based after. Sorry.
You can read with if it's too much in the quotations, then you can read without quotations, right?
No, not really, because it's a text, it's a book. So you, but you can easily see where the quotations are and where the quotations aren't. That you don't have to.
Yes, I'm suggesting if it's too much, you cannot comprehend everything, then you don't have to read the quotations. You read the meaning, because quotations, why he bring one point, he bring like 10, 15 quotations, each points. Why? Because he have to convince everybody before didn't understood. So that's why Buddha have to do that way. Buddha Torpo have to do that way. I remember. So that's why if you are easily convinced, if you believe Dolpopa, no line, and then you don't have to read the quotations. You can read by yourself. I mean, yeah, if you can read everything, then it's good.
The shortest way is to read the table of contents, because that's his subject. It's his outline. And there's an interactive table of contents, so you can see the structure much more easily and be able to read that if you don't have the time to read the full text.
Tell them that Jeffrey Hopkins, the Mountain Doctrine, the huge book you have to buy. How much you have to pay?
I don't know, maybe $40.
Oh, I think it's like 50, maybe as a ebook, and $100 as a book. So it's quite, $250, somebody just said. So it's very costly. And so
maybe it's out of print. Maybe it's out of print now.
Yes, that Jeffrey Hopkins' book, even then a reader is very complain because his terms and everything so difficult, and you know. But if he did even translate, that's really incredible, precious. We not criticizing him, we thank him. But what I'm saying is this Ives Waldo, he, you know, freely help us, you know, like for help everybody. So everybody should appreciate and then dedicate for him and read and dedicate for him. Of course, we dedicate all sentient beings, but especially remember him, okay?
thank you, Rinpoche, and thank you, Ives. Yeah, it took him several years, so thank you.
Okay.
Okay.